welcome back to the GSMC Baseball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. I'm your host, Sam Menzie, and we've got a show for you today. First topic we'll be covering is going over the National League games of yesterday, then moving into the American League as well. Then after that, we'll be talking about the league lead in Cleveland Guardians and just their surprise season so far and my overall thoughts on it. And last but not least, we'll be talking about some news stories around the league, just some general injury and transaction stuff, so we'll be going over that. Now, before we go into the show, I would like to ask you to please like and follow the show. We do get a number of questions from viewers, so to ensure that your question does get read in the air, please use the link gsmcpodcast.net. It really does help the show, and it really does mean a lot, so thank you so much for that. And let's get into the show today. All right, so as I said, first topic is going to be what it usually is, recapping the baseball games of yesterday. Now, usually we start off with the American League games, not the National League, but wanted to switch it up a little bit, give some love to the National League, so we'll be starting off with them today. So the first game we have on the agenda is going to be a game from the late window, just as we started with yesterday, the Mets and the Giants. They are still playing right now as we speak. The game starts at 3:45. It is currently 3:31, so it'll be going on as the show is in progress. So if anything extremely notable happens, I'll probably talk about it in the last segment, but I don't think so. Cardinals Diamondbacks also from the ninth inning right now. Looks like the Cardinals have that game won, but Diamondbacks could always come back, I assume. So we'll be saying that as well. But let's go into the National League games of yesterday, the ones we are going to recap. So Mets Giants, of course, starting off. We had the Giants beating them in the first game of the series yesterday. So Mets looking to take this game and avoid getting a series loss. Bottom of the fifth, the scoring would open with a Thairo Estrada RBI single to score Mike Conforto to make it 1-0 San Fran in the bottom of the fifth. And then in the same inning, Mike Yastrzemski would blow the game wide open with a 2 RBI single scoring Matt Chapman and Estrada to make it 3-0. Bottom of the seventh, Yastrzemski would come in clutch again with another RBI single, also again scoring Thairo Estrada to make it 4-0. And then a Lamont Wade Jr. RBI double would make it 5-0. In the top of the ninth, the Mets would get a run on the board with a DJ Stewart RBI groundout, but it would be the end as they would not come back after that, losing the game 5-1. Now the Giants had on the mound Logan Webb, who, like usual, was absolutely phenomenal. 8 innings pitched, 6 hits, no run runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, no home runs, 2.33 ERA in the season. I mean, Webb has consistently showed over the past few years now that he is an ace in this league. He is one of the best pitchers in baseball, and he just continues to play like that. I mean, just an incredible, incredible player. He may not strike out a lot of guys. I mean, only 4 strikeouts over 80 last time, but he is a master at getting those ground balls and inducing that. So just one of the best pitchers in baseball, and I think Giants fans are lucky to have him. For the Mets, they had Luis Severin on the mound. He went 6 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts. He was actually perfect through 4 innings, I believe. It might have been 5, but I know it was either 4 or 5. So a really strong start there. It kind of unraveled a little bit at the end, but I'd still say it was a really solid start. 6 innings pitched, 3 earned runs. Not the best, but I still think really solid. A 2.67 ERA now as a Met so far. I think he's had a really great season and been a really underrated pickup for the Mets, and I think it's worked out so far. So, yeah, good for him. And, he's always seemed like a really good guy who's had a lot of fun playing baseball, so I'm happy for him. Next game we are talking about is going to be Cubs and Astros. Struggling Astros looking to get a win on the Cubs, who have been pretty great this season. Bottom of the first, Cody Bellinger would hit a 2-run home run to open up the scoring early for the Cubs, making it 2-0. Then a Mike Tauchman 3-run home run, his first of the year, would make it 5-0 Cubs in the bottom of the first. So just a really great job jumping out in front early for this Cubs offense against the struggling Astros pitching staff. Top of the fourth, Yainer Diaz would hit an RBI double to score Kyle Tucker to make it 5-1. Then a Jake Myers solo shot, his third of the year, would make it 5-2. So the Astros would get some runs on the board, but the Cubs would get some more insurance, making it 6-2 with a Nico Horner RBI groundout and a Mike Tauchman solo home run, his second of the year and his second of the game. Really great job there to make it 7-2. The Astros would not score after that, and the Cubs would end up winning this game 7-2. So a really strong game by the Cubs offense, especially coming out early and scoring all those runs. Also, Mike Tauchman was really, really great as well, so good job for him. For the Astros, they had on the mound J.P. France. He went 5 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts, 2 home runs. So had a really awful first inning. After that, settled in, giving up no runs in 4 after that. But at the same time, still that rough first inning is not good at all, and it just can't be excused. So not a great overall start for J.P. France, I'd say. I think you need him and some of your other depth guys to really come in handy right now and really come in clutch with all the injuries you've had, and they just simply are not doing that. So, as I said, the Astros have a lot of problems with their pitching staff, and it doesn't look to be ending anytime soon. 7-17 now. I mean, that's not something to play around with. For the Cubs, they had Jordan Wicks on the mound, the rookie. He went 6 innings pitched, giving up 5 hits, 2 earned runs, no walks, 4 strikeouts, and a home run, having a 4.7 ERA on the season so far. For a guy who's making a 5th start of the year, a guy who's going to be one of the future parts of this Cubs pitching staff, I think it was a solid start. I think 6 innings pitched, only 2 earned runs for the Astros offense is really, really great. So good job there. I think I'm really high on him for the future. I think he's going to be really, really good. So definitely watching him, seeing what he can do. Next game we have is going to be Phillies and Reds. I feel like these teams have played each other a lot so far this season, so just keep talking about it. In the top of the first, Alec Boehm would hit an RBI double to score JT Realmuto to make it 1-0 early. Then Christian Encarnacion Strand in the bottom of the first would answer right back for the Reds, hitting an RBI double, his 6th of the year, to score Spencer Steer to make it 1-1. Bottom of the third, Encarnacion Strand would come in clutch again, hitting an RBI single to make it 2-1. So really great game for him. Then Nick Martini would reach on an error from Alec Boehm and would make it 4-1, and a Santiago Espinal single would make it 5-1. So great job by the Reds offense that inning to come in clutch. And it'll be all Reds from there as well, as in the bottom of the 5th, Ellie De La Cruz would hit his 7th home run of the year already, having a monster season, scoring Christian Encarnacion Strand, and then a Santiago Espinal home run, his first as a Red and his first of the season, to make it 8-1, would essentially close it, as the Reds would end up winning 8-1 and beating this really nice Phillies team. So even with injuries, the Reds have been really solid this season, really, really impressive. So good for them. For the Phillies, they had on the mound Christopher Sanchez, 3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So can't really blame him for that start. Only 1 earned run over 3. You'd like to see him go deeper, yes, but again, only 1 earned. So I don't really think most of that start yesterday was his fault. It more seemed to be on the Phillies offense, who also made 3 errors in the game. So definitely need to improve that. For the Reds, they had on the mound Andrew Abbott, 4 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, an earned run, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and a 2.50 ERA on the season. So, Abbott is going to be a guy that is going to get a lot more starts now that you have someone like Frankie Montas on the injured list. So definitely need to come in clutch, and that was a really good start there, and just a really good opportunity for him. Next game we have is an NL Central matchup with the Pirates and the Brewers. In the bottom of the first, Andrew McCutchen would hit a solo home run, his 3rd of the year, to make it 1-0 Pirates, to open up the scoring really early. 2nd home run in this series, back-to-back games, against his former team as well, so good job by Kutch there. Bottom of the 6th, Connor Joe would hit an RBI single to make it 2-0. Top of the 8th, Gary Sanchez would hit a solo home run, his 2nd as a Brewer, to make it 2-1, but the Brewers would still end up losing 2-1 and would not score after that. So low-scoring game here, only 10 entire hits in the game, only 3 from Milwaukee. So good win by the Pirates, and beating their division rival. For the Brewers, they had on the mound, it is Tobias Myers, yes. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, an earned run, a walk, 4 strikeouts. Had a really solid start there against this good Pirates offense. I think any day of the week you take that. For the Pirates, they had Bailey Falter. He won 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, an earned run, 2 walks, and 8 strikeouts. 3.33 ERA in the season. He's been really impressive so far, in my opinion. I think he's been a really great surprise for the Pirates. I did not expect Falter to do much when he got traded to the Pirates last year at the deadline, but he's been a really nice starter for them, filling in sometimes, just good depth. So, yeah, good for him, and just a good job so far. Next game we have is going to be Dodgers and Nationals. Scoring would open up in the bottom of the 2nd after a Jacob Young RBI single from a bunt. That would score Ildemaro Vargas. Top of the 6th, Kike Hernandez would tie up the game with a RBI single to make it 1-1. James Outman would then give the Dodgers a lead with a RBI double to make it 2-1 Los Angeles. Then a Miguel Rojas RBI single make it 3-1, and a Shohei Ohtani solo home run, his 6th of the year, in the top of the 9th, would put the icing on the cake as the Dodgers end up winning this game 4-1. So the Dodgers just lost the series to the Nationals, obviously, so it's playing them again shortly after. Really nice start to get back out in front and win the series. The Nationals are not a great team, obviously, but apparently they could be the Dodgers' kryptonite per se. So good job by them to come in clutch and win the series. Dodgers had on the mound James Paxton, who was okay, 4 2/3 innings pitched, 5 hits, an earned run, 3 walks, and a strikeout. one run is good, but you definitely like to see him go deeper than 4 2/3 innings pitched, especially against a team like the Nationals. So you want to see that for the future, definitely. The Nationals had on the mound Patrick Corbin. He went 5 1/3 innings pitched, giving up 3 hits, no earned runs, 3 walks, 3 strikeouts. So a really solid start there, honestly. I mean, 5 1/3 innings pitched, no earned runs against the Dodgers offense as well. I don't really think you can ask for much more than that for a guy like Patrick Corbin. So really solid start there. And if I was a Nationals fan, I'd be pretty excited with that start. So yeah. Next game we have here for the National League is going to be Braves and Marlins. So starting off this game now, scoring would open up in the bottom of the second with a Michael Harris RBI double to make it 1-0. Then a David Fletcher sacrifice fly would make it 2-0. Going to the bottom of the sixth, a Travis d'Arnaud sacrifice fly would make it 3-0. And then an Adam Duvall 2-run home run would make it 5-0 Atlanta. So, yeah, I mean, just an onslaught for Atlanta there. 5 runs. Marlins would only get 3 hits. So just an easy, quick game there for the Braves. They had on the mound Max Fried, who had a complete game shutout, 9 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, of course, no walks, 6 strikeouts. An absolutely incredible start for Fried. He's had a pretty rough start to the season so far. Is playing up to his potential now, I see, and obviously a free agent after the season. So I think any great start for him is going to make himself a lot of money. So a really good job there and a really great start. The Marlins had on the mound Trevor Rogers, who was decent, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 7 hits, 3 earned, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. Just an okay start, nothing to write home about, but could have been a lot worse playing the Braves offense. So we kind of have some not breaking news, but I'd say significant news that I just saw that just broke. Cubs outfitter Cody Bellinger has a fractured rib and is going on the injured list, and top prospect Pete Crow Armstrong is being called up. So that's pretty significant, I'd say. Not something I was really expecting. I'm not really sure where Bellinger got that injury. I'll have to do more research, and I'll probably tell you either in the last segment if I have time to look at it in between, or in tomorrow's show, but we'll see. But that is pretty significant news, I'd say, Bellinger going on the injured list and a top prospect like PCA getting called up. So that's definitely some news I do want to talk about. But we'll continue with the segment here. But just did want to mention that because I just did see it. So yeah, the next game we have here now is Arizona and St. Louis. Bottom of the first, St. Louis would open up scoring really early with a Wilson Contreras solo home run, his third of the season, to make it 1-0 St. Louis. And after that, it will be all Arizona. Lourdes Gurriel RBI single, Christian Walker 3-run home run, Gabby Moreno RBI single, Randall Grichuk RBI single, Pavin Smith RBI double, Kevin Newman solo 2-run home run, and then a Pavin Smith grand slam would make it 14-1 Arizona. Just an absolute onslaught of offense for Arizona. I mean, wow. Pavin Smith grand slam, of course, being the cherry on top. I mean, what a game for Arizona. The Cardinals had on the mound Steven Matz, who, of course, was awful. 4 1/3 innings pitched, 6 hits, 7 earned runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Just awful. Has not been good since coming to St. Louis, and I think we might see the end of his time in St. Louis coming rather quickly, especially the rotation. I try to move him to a reliever now, see if he has anything there, but he's obviously not fit to be a starter at this point for St. Louis. Diamondbacks had on the mound Tommy Henry, who went 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, an earned run, a walk, and 6 strikeouts. 5.55 ERA in the season. Not great, and I think you definitely need him to be a little bit better. For overall for the season, be a little bit better, but that start was really nice. I think the Cardinals' offense is really good, and having a start like that, I'd say, is really important for where the Diamondbacks are right now with the rotation depth and all the injuries they've had, so a really good job there. Next game we have is Padres and Rockies, an NL West matchup. Scoring would open up in the top of the first as Jake Cronenworth would hit an RBI single to score Xander Bogaerts to make it 1-0. Then a Jerickson Profar sacrifice fly would make it 2-0. Bottom of the second, the Rockies would get a run on the board with a Nolan Jones RBI single to score Elias Diaz, but Luis Campusano would answer right back with an RBI double in the top of the third to make it 3-1. Then a Jackson Merrill RBI single would make it 4-1. Going to the bottom of the fourth now, Brendan Rodgers would hit a grand slam for the Rockies, getting them on top just like that, making it 5-4 Colorado. Really, really exciting moment there for Brendan Rodgers, his first home run of the year as well. Eleuteris Montero would walk in a run with the bases loaded to make it 6-4, and an Ezekiel Tovar RBI single would ice the game for Colorado, making it 7-4, and them defeating their division rival Padres. So, an unfortunate game for the Padres here. Pitching just did not come in clutch and would definitely let them down. they had on the mound Michael King, who was pretty bad. 3 2/3 innings pitched, 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts. So not great. Hopefully he can improve, but maybe it was just a sign of going to Coors. So hoping it's not a long-term thing, of course. For the Rockies, they had Ryan Feltner on the mound. 4 innings pitched, 10 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. Not great, giving him 10 hits, but at the same time, it is Coors, so you take it with a grain of salt, really. And it is a Rockies pitcher, so. All right, so that was the end of our first segment here, talking about the National League games of yesterday, just recapping those. We go into our second segment, which is talking about the American League games. So, yeah, we go into that, and we'll see you after the break. So, thanks, and bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind, 'cause everybody in the world